Bonaduce, life coach. Danny Bonaduce, life coach. He was a
All righty, it is time for Danny Bonaduce, life coach. Once again, you can give us a call at 1-800-252-1025. I would love to take your emails at lifecoach@kzok.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let's go to the phone and talk to John in Mount Lake Terrace. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Good
How
morning.
are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Hey.
So what can I do for you?
Well, my story is a bit lengthy. I'll make it as short as possible. 2 years ago when I got married, my wife had a daughter who was 2. About 2.5 years later, 3 years later, she decided she wanted to sleep with one of her friend's boyfriends. And so we separated. I was never allowed to see the stepdaughter. Her and I had discussed visitation with my son as a 50-50 thing. She was pretty much in agreement with that. He was just barely 1 at the time.
Right.
And as we got to end the discussing a parenting plan, suddenly I was accused of, things to do with my stepdaughter.
I know exactly what you're saying, and I'm not going to say that it's always made up, but believe me, you're selling a very easy audience here, because people, when it gets into a custody battle, when it gets into a thing, if you're kind of a heartless person, you make that allegation almost every time. And I'll tell you, I have said to people, if anybody made that allegation about me, I'd close. I would fold up and give them whatever that they wanted. So I always say this, that I always believe whoever calls me on Life Coach. So shame on whoever brought that allegation against you when it was completely unfounded. That puts a pall over the girl, over you. It's just not fair.
Yeah, it was very difficult. I thought a divorce proceeding takes like a year. Anyway, I fought this left and right. They wanted me to have supervised visitations that I paid for unless we agreed upon something. They agreed to allow my mother to do it. So we go all the way through this proceeding. I took 2 polygraphs with the King County Police Department on my own, and we got right down to mitigation for divorce, and the judge says, I've had 2 weeks. And
Wait, you're killing me, man, because I love this story. Oh, it's sad, but I'm on pins and needles. We lost you at what the judge said. The judge said...
He said, take what you can get, supervised visitations with your mother, or you're screwed.
Wow.
As it turned out, 6 weeks after it was filed, I was accused of the same thing, and so I hadn't seen him since.
And this was the second accusation was about your son?
Yeah, they said, take it or leave, take your visitation or leave it, and then I was accused of the same thing concerning him.
Can I say how much I hate your ex-wife? I mean, I really do. You've called the right guy for this, John. That's just so incredibly unfair. You know, you can't prove it. So did you take a lie detector test the next time?
Well, at that point, there was not a lot I could do. Basically, the judge said, you're screwed, take it. I got accused when Mom was supervising, and of course she'd lie. And there wasn't much else I could do. I had 2 attorneys, and I owed them both money. And it was either go, postal on people or just try to put it out of your mind. So
well, if those are the only 2 options, you did the right thing, man. Good for you.
Yeah. So I tried looking them up, say on Facebook. I never came up with a thing until...
All right, so hang on one second, John, because I'm a little bit lost. Right now you're saying you have lost contact with your biological son when he was only 1 year old.
Correct, and he would be 23 this December.
All right, what is your question for me? Because, you could stay on that ridiculous and heartbreaking road that you were on, but luckily you don't seem as upset as I do, and it didn't even happen to me. So you've lost contact with your 1-year-old son, and he's now going to be 26, you say. What is your question for me?
How do I go about contacting him, I guess? What would be the best way?
Well, you know what? So you're saying you can't find him on Facebook, things like that. You're not finding him.
No, I have found it.
On Facebook?
Yes, through somebody else's account. They have me blocked, but I found him through Facebook.
All right, now, because you were blocked, do you assume your son does not want any contact with you?
I'm assuming he's been lied to for the last 23 years.
You know what, though? I got to say, and this is only a personal thing. I have no, I don't know how this feels at all. But if I've lost track of my dad, and they said all these terrible things about him, and I didn't remember, I'd believe the people telling me, my mom, I would. But I'd be open to saying, hey, what happened to Dad? And that's my answer to you. If you think you can contact this kid, I think you should.
Okay.
Is that your entire question for me? Is whether or not I really believe that you should contact this kid. This kid may be worrying about you. He has every right to know the truth. You know, he feels, and this, again, I'm going with what I've been told, and I always believe the callers. This kid's walking around believing he's been molested by the guy he should have trusted most in the world, and that turns out to be not the case at all. I think not only do you owe it to you, but you owe it to the kid to let him know none of that ever happened. Here's your dad. He's a good man. He's a strong man. He wanted to contact you, wanted to provide for you, and those things were taken away from me. But I think your kid, you owe it to your kid to contact him and tell him what really happened.
Okay.
So if you're waiting for my approval, you've got it. Now remember, he's probably going to fight you because, as you said, John, his mom's been telling him this his whole life. Every time she sinks back and thinks about you, she puts it in even further, so she knows your own kid's going to hate you. But I think you owe it to the kid to contact him. But be prepared, my friend, that he's never going to believe you and he's always going to hate you. And if there's nothing you can do about that, you have to be prepared to move along. But you owe it to yourself and the kid to tell him what really happened. Hey, thank you very much, John. I hope this all works out for you.
Good luck to you, John. If you've got a question for the life coach, there is still time to call this morning, 800-252-1025. You can email lifecoach@kzok.com. Any kind of problem, Danny can help you. Nicole in Bremerton sent an email.
Yeah.
I overeat due to emotional issues. In the past 5 years or so, following the end of my marriage, I gained about 50 pounds. I get so down, I just want to feel better, so I eat. Can you suggest how I might make myself feel better without resorting to things like eating an entire package of Oreos in one sitting?
Yeah, booze.
Oh.
Here's the thing on that. First, and I believe you're doing it. I think I'm at least 30 pounds overweight right now. And you can't really blame it on what I do about stress. You're bending your elbow is what you're going to do. Life is not going to get any easier for you. This is the way. These are the cards you're dealt, man. Life sometimes, hear my last phone caller. Life can be a really, really dangerous and hard road to hoe. But here's the thing I think you need to do. You need to get on a strict diet. What's the name of that place you used to sponsor?
Metafast.
Metafast. And I'm not recommending them, by the way. I'm just saying.
There's so many out there.
Our pal, Will, who I don't think was having a lot of willpower, actually, what did you lose, 50?
Yeah, I was close to 60 pounds.
60 pounds. And there couldn't be more of just a regular guy. And if he followed direction, he lost the weight. And there's a billion of those out, whether from Weight Watchers. Because I always wonder about my weight and how come I'm having such a hard time taking it off. I get like the idea of thing like Weight Watchers. They're not like AA. You get and go with a room full of fat people that are bummed, and somebody's losing some weight somewhere because that's why they're on TV every day. So I got to tell you that's what I'm going to recommend: a structured diet where they count your calories and you weigh in, and that's really the answer. It can get more specific than that: carbs versus this versus that. But if you're counting your calories and you're supposed to be at 1,900 or less, and you stay under 19, it's not that interesting. You lose weight. That's what happens.
But how can she make herself feel better? Is what her question is.
I guarantee you, thank you for reminding me that I was on this tangent about something. I guarantee you that weight's killing you. And I don't mean the physical things that come along with it. That's a whole nother conversation. But I've never met a woman or a man, but I'm going to stick with a woman on this one. You drop that 50 pounds, that's how you feel better. Don't be 50 pounds overweight anymore. And I promise you I'm right on this. I mean, I'm kind of always right, but that's not the point. The point is, you lose that 50 pounds, and you're going to look in that mirror and you're going to say, your biggest problem is going to be that you're spending money you don't have on clothes because you feel so good and you want to dress it up in a new thing. Get on a real diet so it's 1,700 calories a day and do it every single day. In 3 months, maybe up to lose 50 pounds. 6 months, that's not much, not even a whole season of a sport. You will lose that weight and you will feel pretty damn good about yourself.
Let's put you on with Ron calling from Kent. Ron, you're on with Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
Hey, Ron.
Hi, Danny. How you doing this morning?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, in comparison. Hey, Danny, I'm just curious about something. About 3 years ago, my whole life pretty much turned upside down. To try and sum it up and be quick, my ex left me, took my 4 beautiful children, and then, of course, I lost my career because I was told I had leukemia, and then I had to pack up and move out of the house.
Who told you had leukemia?
The doctor did.
The doctor? Were they right?
No. It was 3.5 months later before they told me they were wrong.
Did you think about suing anybody?
Well, I considered it, but, I mean, at the time, I really didn't have anything. I had,
quit my job of 15 years. I had packed up the house, gave all 4 children back to their prospective mothers, because there's one mother for one child, another mother for 3 of the other children. And so at this time...
Did you ever think of wearing a condom?
Well, no, actually, Danny, I absolutely love all 4 of my children. They're great, and I've been blessed by them. But I got to be honest with you.
I love my car, but I don't have kids with it.
I understand that.
All right.
Anyway, the point being is, since all this transpired, then, of course, the next thing that happened was within about 6 months, my mom came down with terminal cancer, and then I came down...
Not from the same doctor, I hope.
No, sir. No, it was a different doctor.
Okay.
You're too funny, Danny.
Well, thank you.
Oh, poor Ron has a great sense of humor.
It wasn't the same doctor, Danny.
All right.
But anyway, I came down to Kent, and of course, a few months went by, and I helped her move on. And but to make a long story short, for about the past 3 years, I completely feel emotionally numb. I mean, I don't get excited about anything other than golf. Seriously.
Well, but listen to what you said, because I knew what this call was about. You can get excited about golf if you have a game and you're 3 strokes under par or something like that at the end of this game. You feel joy?
I feel joy just getting able to go and play. It doesn't even matter what my score is.
Do you know how many people cannot do that? That cannot go out and just, because of whatever reason, they can't go out and just enjoy today. My wife would accuse me of that I'm always thinking about, how am I going to be in retirement? Am I going to have enough money? I was 12 years old when I achieved my best success. Nothing's ever going to be greater. I'm like a nervous Nelly, man. So if you can feel joy, and I can, I've come around with you that I feel joy about things. If you can feel joy, I don't know what your whole problem is. So what is your question for me?
Well, my question is, nothing else means anything to me. What I used to be interested in, I don't care about anymore. I play guitar since I was 12. I have an album on the internet. I don't play on the guitar anymore. I don't even care. I don't care if my house is clean. I don't care. I got to see my kids over the summertime for a month. I hardly spend any time with them. I didn't even care. I mean, my point is, I don't care or actually emotionally feel.
Right.
It's like I'm emotionally dead.
You know what? Like I said, I wonder about that stuff myself. But here's the thing. The one giveaway for me, and God bless her, I'd be really nervous about you, is the joy of a good round of golf. And I think that happens to not everybody, but a number of people today with the technology the way it is, and that you don't have to have personal relationships. They're all online and things like that. That America is walking around emotionally dead inside. So I want you to do this, because it's really good, Ron, because I worry about you. It's kind of a tough thing. You don't feel joy anymore. That's a real problem. But you have the golf thing, and what I want you to do is continue to do it. I want you to try and beat your old score every friggin' day that you can get out on the course. That I want you to try and feel better, but then also pick the thing. I'm going to go with guitar on this and transfer that joy to that. Learn a new song, write a new song, and I think you're going to be fine, man. You are open to feeling joy, and I think that's more than half the battle, buddy. So just transfer it to other things, because I want you to be happy the next time you call me. Thank you very much, Ron. Hey, that's all the time we have for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach, today, and I appreciate your phone calls. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.